Hi everyone, my name is Darren Malagan, your teacher in Empowerment Technology, and today we'll talk about trends in ICT and the features of Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we begin our discussion for today, let's go ahead and bow ahead and feel the presence of the Lord. Lord, bless my learners' academic skills and efforts. I pray you would give each of them the desire to learn and the gift of knowledge. Help them excel in their strength while persevering in their weaknesses. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright. Of course, our house rules, you have to make sure that um, you watch the video and do the activities that will be presented or will be asked of you. And also, if you have a question, you might as well send direct message to your subject teacher so they can address your questions. Um, okay. Now, our topic for today is about Introduction to Information Communication Technology, also called as ICT. Now, you've been hearing these ICT, since you were in grade 7, I think, or in elementary years. But there are still things that you still need to know about it, specifically the features of ICT and its uses in your everyday life. Now, today's objective will talk about the state of ICT technologies. When I say the state, it's the current situation that we have right now. What are the current features of ICT that we're taking advantage of right now? And also the online systems, functions, and other platforms. So these platforms might have been so familiar to you already, but we need to also to talk about some other platforms that might be of interest or something that might help you in the future. And of course, at the end of the lesson, you will be expected to know more about how ICT affects your everyday life, and you'll understand better the state of ICT in the Philippines, to be specific, and also in all around the world. So it's not only limited to the Philippines, because the current state of ICT also applies to other countries, and also the distinguishing features, the similarities and differences of the Web 1.1, sorry, from one Web 1.1 to Web 2.0, and also in the future we have this with Web 3.0. So let us first define the information communication technology. What do you think is the meaning of ICT? Basically, it deals with the use of different communication technologies such as mobile phones, computer, internet to locate, save, send, and edit information. By the way, you see these words underline words locate. It means that you can easily find the information online. Um, you can go directly to google.com and locate the information that you need. If you have a question that requires answer, then you can go there and look for some answer. So that means you're locating the information through the net. You can also save information directly through your device. You have hard drive, flash drive. You also have cloud storage, like um, mm, yeah, cloud storage, where you can save your data or file online without having a hard drive or flash drive. Okay. um, and you can also send and edit information. So send information means that you have the option to share that to others. Say you have email, then you can send email to others with email, of course. And same exact thing with the way you do on Facebook too, and Messenger. So you do some chat. So you send information, and you also receive information. And we also have here the underlined word edit means that you have an option to manipulate the image, manipulate the audio or the video. So if you're so fond when it comes to video editing, that's also possible through the use of other platforms available online, or you can download a certain software so you can manipulate or edit the video or audio or photo offline. All right, so earlier I talked about with the first objective, which is the state of ICT. Now let's talk about the old version of the web that has been created for the sake of information dissemination. So, but before that, let's go ahead and elaborate the word web. Web means World Wide Web, and it was invented at first in a static format, meaning to say that the page does not change. So the same exact page will also be shown to other users, and it's also called as a flat or stationary page. And the page is as is, meaning to say that whatever is shown onto your screen is what it really is. It doesn't allow you to put some comments, review, or anything on that page because it's Web 1.0, and it cannot be manipulated by the user. Okay. And also, as I was saying earlier, so whatever is shown onto your screen is also the same exact thing that will be shown to other users because they again don't have the option to edit the page. Now, the opposite of Web 1.0 is of course the Web 2.0. So Web 2.0 was coined by Darcy Dunici on January 1999, and it's basically the evolution of Web 1.0. It's the upgrade, as we call it. Here in Web 2.0, you can manipulate the website, and Web 2.0, by the way, is a dynamic has a dynamic web pages where the page can be changed by simply putting some comments on it, a review. Okay, the user is able to see a website different from others. Okay, and example of these include social networking sites such as Facebook. So you'll see a different different you'll see different things on Facebook simply because again it uses Web 2.0 features, blogs and video sharing sites, of course. And in the future, we are expecting to have these Web 3.0. But anyway, this is no longer something that is not existing because it's already existing, Web 3.0. The only difference is that for Web 3.0, it makes use of what we call the artificial intelligence or the AI. Okay, and the aim of this AI or artificial intelligence is to have machines understand the user's preference to deliver web content targeting the user. So it's essential for the website developer to understand the user or the customer themselves because they'll be able to know because through the AI they'll be able to know the preference of the users. Okay, so if they would like to say buy a product on an item or an item online, then similar products will also be shown to the customer. That makes it easier for them to locate what the exact item they would like to have. Usually, Web 3.0 has been generally used by online selling stores. So internationally, we have Amazon.com. So that's one of the biggest online stores all around the world. But here in locally, we have here Shopee. We also have Lazada. All right. Okay. And there are problems, of course, that we might encounter. So there are uh, challenges that we encounter along the way in the implementation of Web 3.0. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. By the way, before that, I'd like you just to know these differences. So, as I was saying earlier, Web 1.0 is static website. Web 2.0 uses a dynamic website, which is what we have generally in all majority of the websites that we have. And 3.0 is semantic. Okay, but again, it's already being used by some of the websites or platforms. Right. Earlier, I talked about the challenges. But anyway, Web 3.0 and Semantic Web. The Semantic Web is a movement led by the World Wide Web Consortium W3C and encourages web developers to include semantic content under the web pages. It means that the device or the system itself has the option to understand the user depending on the preferences of the user. Say, for example, if you go to say Shopee and you are asked you would like to look for some item and that these particular preferences that you've selected online will be saved through this into the system. Thus, it will be easier for the system to to determine whatever the items that you would like to have online. Okay. Also, the term was coined by the inventor of the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, and the aim of, as I was saying earlier, 3.0 is to have machines understand the user's preference to be able to deliver web content specifically targeting the user. So also these are problems that we have to, or sorry, not the problems, but rather the challenges that we usually encounter along the way in the development of and implementation of the Web 3.0 in majority of the websites. Number one is compatibility. So there are some like developers or platforms which somehow would not allow the use of semantic web or the application of AI. Uh, okay, and it does not basically support the Web 3.0 features. The other one is security because some of the users, some of them would not allow the system to file or save their data. So that's the problem too. And vastness, because as we've known that World Wide Web has already stored billions of information online, so we don't want that information overload happening in World Wide Web. So that can be a problem too. Vagueness, there are certain words that are imprecise, and of course we know that AI is not perfect, and and language is arbitrary. So sometimes there are words that AI would not understand. It might reroute you to a different website if you try to type something online. um, you might consider a different sorry you might consider uh, using specific words to describe those things that you want to look for you want to look online. All right. Logic, since machines use logic, but it makes use of a different algorithm. Of course, it makes use of the binary um, codes, the 0 1 1 0, and there that particular code is somewhat different to what we have, but it makes use of the numbers and may associate that binary codes into different codes. So that depends on the developers too. So that can also be a problem in Web 3.0. Okay, now I'd like to talk about the features of Web 2.0, since Web 2.0 is the one that is used by the majority of the people or majority of the web platforms that we have online. Number one is Foxonomy. If you're familiar with the hashtag or the pound sign, so this allows users to categorize and classify or arrange information using freely chosen words. This is also known as social tagging. And we have popular social networking sites such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and etc. use tags that start with a pound sign. Yeah. Okay. All right. The next one is rich user experience. Uh, the content is dynamic in Web 2.0, and is also responsive to the user's input. An example would be a website that shows local content. If you go to msn.com, you have the option to go locally or internationally. So you have MSN US, but you can also have MSN Phil. Same thing with Facebook. You have the option to select the language. So those are some of the features which allows the users to maximize the platform itself. Okay. All right. In the case of social networking sites, when you logged on, your account is used to modify what you see on their website. Okay. So you can also subscribe to some of these platforms, and it will send you like a newsletter, for example, where updates will be posted or will be shared to you into your account. Sorry, particularly into your Facebook account. The third one is, or the third feature is user participation, because the owner of the website is not the only one who's able to put content. So this is not a one-way communication, just as we call it. Rather, users can, share his ideas and put that directly onto the website. We have Wikipedia.com, which allows you to edit a certain part uh, on the website. Facebook.com allows you to put some comments, reviews, and so on. and evaluation. For online shopping stores, you can also put some. Hold on. You can also share your comments about the experience that you have, uh, the reviews that you have, if the item is defective or not, and you can put some stars through the evaluation form that they have. It's evaluation form or survey form. Okay, you can also participate in a poll. Okay, and review specific product. If you go to Amazon.com, there's an option there where you can put some review about the product, whether about the product and also the seller. Okay, we also have here the long tail feature wherein services that are offered on demand rather than on one-time purchase. This is synonymous to subscribing a data plan that charges you for the amount of time spent in the internet, or a data plan that charges you for the amount of bandwidth you use. Okay, so we have subscriptions too, where you can subscribe on a monthly basis or a yearly basis. That depends. That's one of the features of Longtail. And we also have here the other feature, also called as software as a service, wherein users will subscribe to a software only when needed rather than purchasing them. This is a cheaper option if you do not always need to use the software. Okay, so it's basically renting the software, and it will be accessible on a particular uh, duration, maybe a month or a year. That depends. For example, we have here antivirus software. Okay, so it's a software for a service where you can buy antivirus for 2 years or lifetime. I hope there's a lifetime antivirus software, but I guess it's 2 years and 5 years or 10 years. We also have here the feature which is also called as the mass participation, where diverse information sharing through universal access. Since most users can use the internet, Web 2.0 content is based on people from various cultures. So um, since it's internet, so people can particularly manipulate the website, um, wherever and whenever they are, as long as they have this connect internet connection. Okay. Now let's talk about the current trends in ICT. What I'm showing you right now are the icons, the logos of some of the platforms, and some of it may be familiar to you already. So you have here the Facebook, the YouTube, the WordPress, okay, the Android, the Evernote, okay, the Yahoo, the Pinterest, okay, the Blogger, Vimeo, and so on. So these are the these are the platforms where you can, as I was saying earlier, edit, save, share information, as what we've defined. As based from the definition of ICT that I've showed to you earlier. So here are the key trends in ICT. Number one is convergence, social media, mobile technologies, assistive media. Right, so convergence means that you are using several technologies to accomplish a task conveniently. Okay, and we'll talk about that later. Social media is a website, application, or online channel that enables web users to create, co-create, discuss, modify, and exchange user-generated content. And here, according to Nielsen, internet users spend more time in social media than any other type of site. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, such as Facebook. So here in the Philippines, people so fond of using Facebook. All right, maybe 2, 3, or more hours or whole day perhaps. Um, so so before we move on to the next type of social media, next type of media platform, let's talk about the different types of social media. So we have the social news. Uh, of course, we all know that we can read news online, and these platforms are called as the social news, where it allows you to post your own news items or link to other news sources. So we have here the Rappler and the Reddit as an example, and here you can also comment on the post and rank the post, whether it's rank the post itself, the news itself, whether it's the one that you really want or it's the least uh, of the things that you would like to read. Okay, and we also have here the social networks. Okay, social networks. These are the sites that allow you to connect with other people with the same interest or background. So once a user create, sorry, one of the features of social networks um, is that of creating an account. Once you are able to create an account, you put some, you can create, sorry, you can add people, share content, add friends, and so on. So example of these social networking sites are Facebook, Google Currents, okay, and the new version for that is the Google Plus. You also have here the bookmarking sites, where it allows you to store and manage links to various websites and resources. Most of the sites allow you to create a tag to others. It's basically a collection of things, such as for example, we have here collection of photos. It's a it allows you to store all these photos, but it's somehow connected to other websites. So these photos that you have may be stored in Pinterest, but they are found or stored in other websites. Okay. So once you click the image in Pinterest, you'll be rerouted or redirected to another website. Yes, it's just that Pinterest, it's a platform where it stores the image, the related image or images. Sorry. Example of this is StumbleUpon and Pinterest. All right, the next type of social media is media sharing. It allows you to upload and share media content like images, music, and video. So here we have YouTube.com. If you're good when it comes to video editing, you might want to upload your edited videos on YouTube. If you're so fond of editing your photos, then you can upload that through Instagram. There are a lot of filters there and Flickr. We also have microblogging. These are the sites that sites that focus on short updates from the user. Example of these are the Twitter and the Plurk. Those that are subscribed to the user will be able to receive these updates. So we have here, famous celebrity who are also celebrities who are posting tweets. We call it tweets, and you can subscribe to their tweets too. So that's it. But if you're fond of blogs, uh, containing videos, audios, and so on, so there are sites that allow users to post your content, okay, broader content containing video, article, photos. So it will allow you to post larger, um, sorry, sorry, more content on some of these sites, and we call it the blogs and forum sites. Example of these are the Blogger, the WordPress, and the Tumblr. Okay, so those are the social media platforms, the types of social media platforms. The third feature of ICT is the mobile technologies. Um, it's basically doing multitasking a single device. It consists of portable two-way communication devices, computing devices, and networking technology that connect them. So right now you have smartphone where you can type through Microsoft perhaps, or you can do Google Meet, talk to other people, chat with other people, or connect with other people while doing other things. So it's basically doing multiple things in a single device. That is what we call the mobile technology. And currently, mobile technology is typified by internet-enabled devices, smartphones, tablets, and watches. So yeah, you can also do multitasking through your watch. Uh, we have these what do you call that? Android watch, and also tablets, which can be converted into computer. Alright, so these are the types of mobile networks that you can have. First one is cellular networks. These are the networks that use distributed cell towers that enable mobile devices or cell phones to switch frequencies automatically and communicate without interruption across large geographic areas. It's very common. Also, we have 4G networking. It's the current cellular service standard for most wireless communication, the 4G. But right now, we already have 5G in limited areas. But 4G is 10 times faster than 3G. But 5G is 20 times faster than 4G. We also have this so-called Wi-Fi, also a short term for wireless fidelity. It uses radio frequency waves to provide high-speed internet access to connected devices. Other than that, we also have the Bluetooth. It enables users to quickly connect or pair devices such as headsets, speakers, phones, and other devices. So I don't need to explain or elaborate those terms. Now, in your mobile devices, you also have these mobile operating systems. Operating systems which allow you to make use of your mobile phones. Now, that also depends. The mobile operating system depends on the brand, depends on the manufacturer. It depends on the manufacturer. So, a mobile operating system is also called as the mobile OS, and it's specifically designed to run on mobile devices such as mobile phones, smartphones, PDAs, tablets, computers, and other handheld devices, including your TV, smart TV, Android TV. So the famous OS operating system for mobile phone is that of the Android OS developed by Google Incorporated. It is an open source OS developed by Google. Developed by Google, and it means that the mobile phone companies use this OS for free. It's pre-installed. Okay, you don't need to buy the OS because it's pre-installed. Updates for the open source Android mobile operating system have been developed under dessert-inspired version names. We have cupcake, donut, eclair, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich. We have the lollipop, and so on. So with each new version arriving in alphabetical order with new enhancements and improvements. So, but anyway, right now the recent updates for Android OS is no longer the dessert inspired, but rather it's code. So Android 1.0, 2.0, and so on. Okay. We also have here another operating system for Bada OS, specifically designed by Samsung Electronics, which was first launched in 2010. Bada provides mobile features such as multi-point touch, 3D graphics, and of course, application downloads and installation. So that's for Samsung. Now, if you have phones like BlackBerry, it makes use of the BlackBerry operating system, and it's designed by Research in Motion. All right. Now, for iPhone, there is an operating system designed specifically for iPhone. We call this Apple's iPhone OS. Now we call it iOS, and this iOS is supported by several Apple devices, including the iPhone, the iPad, iPad Touch, iPad 2, and it's only available in Apple's own manufactured devices, all right, because the company does not license the OS for third-party hardware. We also have mobile operating system for Nokia and Intel. We call this the MeeGo OS, all right? It's joined. It's basically the result of merging of the two products. We have we have Nokia and Intel. So for Nokia, it has the MeeGo, and for Intel, it's Moblin. But it's basically called as the MeeGo OS. All right. We also have the Palm OS. It's originally released in 1996, and it was extended to provide support for a broad range of screen resolutions, wireless connections, and enhanced multimedia capabilities. Okay, Palm OS. Alright, same exact thing with other operating systems. We also have another operating system for Nokia. It is called as the Symbian OS, and all right? We also have the Web OS. Uh, it's um, it's a mobile operating system that runs on the Linux kernel. It was developed by Palm and is a successor of Palm OS mobile operating system, also known right now it's called as Web OS, and is okay for HP. These are for uh, HP products. Now we also have these Windows Mobile OS for Windows Phone. If you uh, so this is basically one of the latest operating system for mobile phones. Okay. Um, all right. So, but Windows Phone, however, um, okay, one of these features of Windows Phone is that it's applicable for sorry, it's more advantageous if it's touchscreen. It's not applicable for the keypad type phones, okay, where you need to type using a certain keypad. For Windows Mobile or Windows Phone or Windows Mobile, it has to be a touchscreen type of phone. All right. Okay, so yeah, so those are the operating system for mobile phones under the mobile technology as the third trend in ICT. Now we move on to the fourth trend, which is the assistive media. Um, Basically, it is a non-profit service designed to help people who have visual and reading impairments. A database for audio recordings is used to read the contents to the user. And I want to show you a video clip on how assistive media works in real life. And okay.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I'm Jared's mom. Jared is an amazing young man. He has a great sense of humor. He loves spending time on the computer and interacting with people around the world and also us as a family at home. Jared was born with cerebral palsy, and it affects him physically, but mentally and intellectually he's very smart. Jared uses the Sip and Puff to access his computer. The Sip and Puff sends a signal to Jared's environmental control unit on his wheelchair, which sends a signal to the touch switch, which sends a signal to the IntelliKey switch. The IntelliSwitch sends a wireless signal to Jared's computer that controls a software program called SwitchXS. SwitchXS allows Jared to do anything on his computer by choosing options from a pop-up menu that scans through several choices. When he gets to the option he wants, he then uses his Sip and Puff to make the selection. He can type, control the mouse, and do anything on his computer. When Jared was in elementary school, we started working with the staff at the school to find technology that would help make him successful and also provide a recreational outlet for him in the computer field. Jared's technology has changed over time. When Jared was in grade school, he used the leaf switch to access the computer. Then we changed when he was in high school to a jelly bean switch, which he would access by hitting with his head. And now he uses the sip and puff, which has been the best for accuracy for him. Because of his drive to do well, he's able to do what he is today.
All right, thank you so much. So you've just seen the how assistive media works. It's really helpful for those who have physical impairment. Um, and just to give you an update, right now you have some features too in your laptop. You have some options there to type using your voice. Okay, so you also have the option to magnify what is showing on your screen if you can't see it, or if you're having some problem or challenge uh, when it comes to small font. And also in your phone you can also do some voice typing. You can just in Google you have here Google Assistant. In Windows you have here Cortana. For iPhone you have Siri. Okay, so these are your virtual assistant. You can just go ahead and talk to them, um, talk to them or type something directly through a search engine, um, but just through your voice. All right. I guess that's it for now. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I hope you've learned something today. Um, okay. All right. So you have a great day. Bye. Oh, by the way, if you have a question, again, don't forget to ask your subject teachers, uh, and they'll be will be readily available to respond to your questions. All right. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye.